much tuna? Do you know what tuna is?
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
I think you're the most attractive of all my parents' friends. I mean that.
It's the Al Travis Show. One of our favorites is on with us today, Representative Tim O'Driscoll. Representative, how are you doing today, sir?
Well, sir, and thanks for the opportunity to be with you and this listening audience on this, what I'm going to call a fake Friday fall.
A fake? Say that again?
I actually misspoke that. A fake fall Friday. It's cold. It's first part of September, but it's certainly not fall.
It's not, but we've actually had some folks come on the show. What was his, Eric Michie, and he actually had a plaid shirt on, long sleeve shirt. It's like, don't. It's too early to give up. Got to wear shorts at the golf course, even if it's cold. You got to do what you got to do to keep summer here as long as possible. I hate giving up to fall. Hate it.
Yeah, and these are the guys that complain that, gosh, the stores already have the Christmas stuff out.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me ask you this. Are you very excited the football season starting?
Is the Pope Catholic?
Then give me your thoughts on Monday, because I won't have you here on Monday. Minnesota, the Chicago Bears in Chicago. I believe the Vikings are 1.5 favorites. Your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a fun game, like it was with the Dallas and Eagles game on Thursday night. It's like must-see TV. And that, by the way, a little side note. It's like, was it really a weather deal, or was it like we're just going to start the NFL season with drama everywhere?
That is so funny. For folks who don't know, the actual game started kickoff because somebody got hurt, so they're doing the stalling thing, and Dak Prescott, their quarterback, and one of the linemen got kind of tiffing back and forth. One of them spit on the other one. He gets booted out, this Jalen kid. Literally before the very first hike of a football, somebody's kicked out. I don't know if that's just out for the game, or would that be a 2-game suspension for unsport? I don't even know. But that was the talk of the whole thing. Very classy, NFL. Very classy.
Well, and here's the other problem in my little world of where we're at, is you got if you want to have more problems in this country, have our professional athletes act like children and act like immature people and these kinds of things, and we're just going to get more of it. And then we go, how does this all happen? Well, you got news, my friend.
Well, it's so funny because this morning, of course, he's covering, so I feel sorry for my teammates. I never should have done that. I've grown from this incident. It's like, so what, now you're 12 and a half? I mean, right. Oh, good. Well, you're almost through 6th grade then, because that's just, it was a bad look for the NFL. But we can move on. You didn't tell me the Vikings going to beat Chicago?
Yes, I think that's going to happen. And if it's another one of those nail biters like it was last night for the Dallas and Eagles game, again, the NFL is going to have some big followers early on, right? Yeah. Great season openers.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, I want to bring us down just a little bit because I love having the program. I want to get your opinion. We had, of course, the shootings of the Hortmans and the Hoffmans. We had naked guy in the state capitol, and then we had the shooter here at the Catholic Church. All that in the last, 3 months. Mm-hmm. We have been talking here. The world says the words. We got to stop the rhetoric. We got to tone this down. We got to get back to civil discourse. And the first time or two with the governor, I let it slide. Hortmans were good friends of his. It hurt him. Okay, backlash a little bit. But now I'm a little tired of it. About a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, he was saying something about, you know what it takes to be a conservative? You got to figure out which stupid red hat to wear. You got to decide how cruel you're going to be for the day. You got to follow a stupid orange Nazi guy or whatever he said. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Why are you doing that to half the population? And now, I don't know if you caught it, but over the Labor Day weekend, Trump was supposedly dead because no one saw him for 2 days. Comes back, obviously he's not dead. What are you doing? But the governor goes in and has a meeting with somebody, and I don't know who they're actually showing is pretty casually dressed. But he started making fun of it in that, you look at your phone, you're thinking you got some good news, and it wasn't. Well, I'm here to tell you, someday we're going to get that good news story. And I'm like, what in the world are you doing? This is the president of the United States. You wanted in on that position. We had a guy literally shoot the Hoffmans and the Hortmans who said that he was working for you. I don't believe that, but he said that. He's crazy loon guy. You had a guy in the Capitol who literally was naked in the Senate saying he was the governor. These loons don't take much to have your actual governor come out and say, well, maybe we'll get lucky, and we'll get lucky sometime. I don't believe he wants to bring the rhetoric down, and I'm a little shameful of the comment. Your thoughts?
I would agree with you on that, and I'm with you. Roll this clock back when during session when he should have been working with us and trying to get things resolved. He's running around. Hey, I'm Tim Walz, governor, was former VP candidate. I want your support, and he was just throwing the rhetoric hot and heavy and getting things going. It's like, didn't like it. Okay, I'm going to tolerate it.
Yep.
Comes back to Minnesota doing the same thing. Number one, Hoffman's and Hortman's get shot. Does he tone it down? Nobody goes in front of the media and says, oh, we got to be nicer, we got to be better to each other, and so forth. Roll the clock ahead. Got a naked guy running through, right?
Yep.
I'm not going to pin that one on him. That's not his deal. Speed the clock ahead. The shooter at Annunciation Catholic School, Minneapolis, right?
Yep.
We're starting to hear from the shooter that I wish I wouldn't have gotten into drugs. I wish I would have had some more mental help and stuff along the way, which is what the Republican House has been saying all along, and that is our proposal. The governor comes out then and says, we've got to do something. We must take people's guns away. That is the thing that we must do, is take people's guns away. This is what's causing these problems. And then what does he do? He stops that press conference, passes a few days, and now he's up talking about, got good news on your phone, as you mentioned, and someday it will be. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you, each and every one of those are tripwire statements from the governor and from people in public view and people who are in the public eye that can cause people right now in the fragile mental state that we have in this country to do crazy things. Yep. And he owns multiple numbers of those in his state as the governor, and yet he continues to pour fuel after fuel after fuel on top of that fire.
Let me ask you to read into it. The guy was a congressman for 12 years, now been a governor for 6. This is not his first rodeo. Is he setting himself up to run for governor? He has yet to make that announcement. He's going to do it by state fair time. Now we're going to wait a little while. We'll figure this thing out. Is he setting himself up for that? Is he setting himself up for some other run? Or is he just out and I'm going to burn my bridges as I go? What is he thinking? Do you have any idea? And your thoughts anyway?
I will speculate, and it is 100% speculation, that he wants to be in the limelight. He doesn't know what to do. He's sort of like a caged animal right now, if you will, or the deer that's trying to run across the road and trying to figure out what's my next point of survival.
Gotcha.
The longer he can delay this, the more he can manipulate the outcome on the Democratic side, right? Because you've got a lot of people who are on the starting blocks going, well, if he doesn't run for governor, maybe I'll jump over from the U.S. Senate race to the Minnesota governor's race, or maybe I'll jump into this race or that race, and what have you. You do notice now that there is some backfilling. Representative Wolgamott from our St. Cloud area announced that he would like to be the state auditor, not seeking re-election to his legislative seat. And so kind of crafting what that ticket might look like or where that could take off. It's one of those kinds of things. You just can't, kind of paraphrasing Charlton Heston a little bit. The only way that you're going to get people like Tim Walz to give up politics is to peel it out of their dead cold hands, right? Yeah. I mean, that's and again, that's not an inflammatory. That's a reference to a historical statement that was made.
All right. I got you. Let's, I want to go to break because the thing he is, besides my opinion, saying really interesting things that we're supposed to be not to say anymore, is he is saying that he wants to have a special session to, like you say, get rid of your guns. Can we talk about a special session, what that would look like on the other side?
Sure.
All right. We've got him, Representative Tim O'Driscoll, on the Al Travis Show.
Think about it. A famous politician once said, "You're entitled to your opinion, but you are not entitled to your own facts." But in a world full of AI and fake news, where can Minnesotans find the facts? Center of the American Experiment is Minnesota's go-to source for fact-based analysis and common sense solutions for taxes, energy, public safety, and our kids' education. Visit AmericanExperiment.org for more information. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
A as in alligator. L also in alligator. But it's not alligator. It's the Al Travis Show.
We're lucky to have him, Representative Tim O'Driscoll, on the program with us. I'm making you play, in the mind of your opposition here, but they're talking about the governor having a special session for the talk of getting rid of guns. Let's have this conversation. It seems interesting to me that they don't have the numbers. When they had all three seats in the, all three legs of the chair, they couldn't get this stuff passed. Now you have a House that's actually, literally in charge by the Republicans, and a Senate that is 2 seats shy because of special elections. They can't pass anything. Is this all just filibuster? Is this all just a way to make these votes come up so every one of you that are left have to say yay or nay? Is this folly as far as instead of doing something to actually get something done?
I think this is a way for Governor Walz to try to provide some cover for himself on a lot of things that have not gone his way, because he has spent less time in Minnesota and more time trying to be on the national scene, going all the way back on the fraud that was there, feeding our future, this housing fraud, all these different kinds of things, because that still comes up. That's still a part of that. And the other things that we were just talking about in the previous segment. So what I think this is an attempt for him to try to look like he's doing something, and this is a standard go-to for Democrats whenever there's a violent incident that involves the use of firearms. They immediately go back to it's time now to ban, it's time now to ban, it's time now to ban, again, those guns don't jump up and just shoot themselves. Those guns don't just fall into the hands of people and say, "I'm pulling your hand this way." It goes back to the fact that if you want to have a special session, you really need to be working on increasing safety and security, keeping those people who cannot, who have had gun violations and stuff in jail and away from the guns, and enforce the laws that we have. And then, of course, we also want to make sure we have money for mental health for folks. I just cannot underscore how fragile the psyche is of our nation, of our state, and the state of the situation we find ourselves in right now.
So sorry. So I guess my point is with the governor, he claims he's going to call it, hasn't yet. Even his own side, Senator Ron Latz and Senator Marty, both a couple of DFLers who've been there a long time, are both saying they should wait. Latz said practicing patience. He wants to have a working group on gun violence. He said that with the House numbers, like I explained it, that's not going to work. Marty said, I'm not sure if the governor will or should call a special session. And it's all because of these numbers and what would actually get done. And then your side, and I think Lisa Damath, Speaker of the House, she came out and kind of put a comprehensive thing down. House Republicans want school safety, including, protecting our students as they learn, provide mental health care to those who need it, and to hold violent criminals accountable. It seems like a more all-encompassing thing than take your guns, let's do this when we can't. Is this going to look good for you guys? Just...
So normally what happens in special sessions, right, there's an agreement before you go in.
Yep.
There won't be an agreement on this. It just mathematically can't happen, and here's why. September 16th is when the seat for Melissa Hortman general election will take place, to bring us back to 67-67. Paralleling that, there is the 2 vacant seats from Senator Mitchell and the death of Senator Anderson, right?
Yep.
And one of the people that is looking to seek that seat is a House member from the Mitchell seat out of Woodbury.
Oh, that's right.
And it's a non-sitting member in either chamber that's seeking the Senate seat. So what happens is, if you see kind of lay the timelines over one another, there's never going to be a full legislature, and you need to have all members of the legislature, because you're going to be relying on one caucus or the other to put up more votes on something, and it just mathematically doesn't happen. So it's kind of a safe position for the governor to take, because he can call and say, "Well, I tried to do something, but the legislature just couldn't," and he's not foreign to the concept of throwing the entire legislature under the bus when it works, and one party or the other when it works for him as well. So I think this is just a collective, everybody under the bus, if you will.
See, but this might have been able to be pulled off 20 years ago and just literally as a stunt. But don't you think the electorate may be getting a little bit smarter? If he calls a special session and both sides, Latz and Marty and Damath, all come out and say, we can't get it done. The math's not here. What are you doing? Don't you think people will see that and figure it out? No, what?
That might be the case, but there is it's again high stakes poker on his part, because it just once again draws attention to the fact that he maybe doesn't understand how the legislative process works and different kinds of things. I can guarantee you that if Al Travis or Tim O'Driscoll acted this way, and we were as public figures, we would be held accountable to a higher level than what the governor is right now.
And again, it's back to, I don't know, are there polls being done currently, like either by Walls or by the Republican, the MN GOP, to find out how all this is tracking? Because, I presume the governor won't get in if he thinks he's going to lose, right? So if he gets in, he must have some polling thinking whatever he's doing is working for him, which is a little astounding to me.
I doubt that it's working really in Minnesota, because there have just been so many people who have been affected by what has happened with the shootings and with different things, and the governor's fraud. I still hear people going, and more of our $18 billion that we didn't know, that we didn't get back as taxpayers, that they're finding out went to more fraud. So it's almost becoming, more common around the kitchen table conversation for families and coffee shop and diner talk with people. Some of my friends that I hang around with, they're not super political. They ask me sometimes, but when they start bringing it up in conversation organically on their own, it's starting to permeate the electorate.
Representative, I'm out of time, but I love having you on the program. Thank you for the time to be with us. I thank you for doing this, sir.
Sounds good. You bet. Take care. We'll do
Representative Tim O'Driscoll on the Al Travis Show.
September 24th is Suicide Prevention on the Air Day in Minnesota. Every dollar raised supports SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education, providing education, advocacy, and programs that save lives. And on September 24th, your gift will go twice as far, because every donation will be matched dollar for dollar. Visit save.org to see our work, learn how you can help, and donate. Remember September 24th, because every voice can save a life.
Tired of one-sided media and divisive noise drowning out your conservative values? Take back the conversation with